There are 6 mental faculties that when you become an expert in using them, you can be, do, and have anything. We are the only species that has these 6 mental faculties. And this is why we can create whatever we like, and in fact, manifest whatever we like in a very short period of time. These 6 mental faculties, I'm going to share what they are today, break them down, and then you are going to realize you are sitting on a gold mine, an absolute gold mine, because when you become an expert, when you start to use them effectively and rely on them more than your 5 senses, you are guaranteed to achieve any goal you set this year and beyond. Welcome back. It's day 13 of my mindset series, and I am sharing my wisdom of experience. I'm taking you through 30 days of little bite-sized pieces of what I take my clients through over a 6-month period. And I want to reassure you that you are still, even though you're not working with me, you are still going to have a transformation by listening to this series. And if you know of anyone or feel someone could benefit from this series, then please reach out, let them know about the series so that they too can get the help and the support. All right, let's get going with the teaching today. So I'm going to bring up the stick person today. And I want to just remind you what the stick person is. It really is an image of your mind. And often when we don't have an image of the mind, we live in a very chaotic state. So let's break down where these higher faculties are, okay? So this is the mind, this is the body, and the mind is broken up with regards to the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And your higher faculties are actually inside your conscious mind. And these higher faculties are your reason, your memory, your will, your perception, your imagination, and your intuition. And all of these higher faculties are sitting in here. Most people think your intuition comes from your subconscious mind. It doesn't. It actually comes from your conscious mind. These are the 5 senses. Now, we are the only species, humans, that have these higher faculties. Animals don't. A cat or a dog, they have senses. They do have 5 senses, but they don't have these higher faculties. I mean, a cat can't imagine a future. A dog can't imagine a different owner if it doesn't like this owner. I mean, it's stuck with this owner, even though this owner doesn't treat them very well, and it's very loyal to this owner. But I'm sure there's many dogs that would love a different owner. Okay, so it's kind of funny saying it like that, but just to break down now what these higher faculties are. So let's look at memory. So our memory is actually inside the conscious mind, and your memory is used to think often about the past, but you can create future memories. That is, use your imagination to create future memories that become your new reality, that become a fact. Many people say, oh, I don't have a very good memory. Oh, I can never remember anything. Nope, that's not right. Each and every one of us has a higher faculty called a memory. The fact is they don't have a strong memory, but they do have a memory, absolutely. And you can strengthen your memory with various exercises. We all have a perception that has been put inside our conscious mind. And often we are not using our perceptions correctly. You see, your perception is often based on your programming. So most people will make up a story about a person, place, or thing based on their paradigm, their conditioning. and make up a story that isn't even true. Okay, so the perception often taps into the paradigm, makes a conclusion about a certain person, place, or thing, and therefore may move forward or not based on the perception and the paradigm. Then there is your intuition. Now, most people think your intuition's coming from your subconscious mind. No, it's coming inside the conscious mind, and the intuition can be strengthened, believe it or not. Many people think, oh, my intuition isn't that great. No, we've all got it. It just needs strengthening once again. Then there is will. And I feel that the will is the one higher faculty that needs to be strengthened more than anything, because right now we are living in a fast-paced world. You and me are bombarded all day long through our five senses. We are constantly saturated with so much information that we can't even hear our intuition. And your intuition is actually your higher self speaking to you. And so I have discovered, and my mentor told me, I had to develop my will more. And will can be strengthened, believe it or not. And the more you develop your will to focus, then you are working in harmony with the law of perpetual transmutation. And wherever your focus goes, that's where energy goes. And that's why I have highly recommended you get a goal, no ordinary goal, but a big C-type goal. You write it on a goal card and you use the power of your will to focus on the one thing and make it the main thing. That's what you focus on. Because most people's wills are so weak that they are too busy living from the outside through your five senses instead of living from the inside, which is all your higher faculties, out. So it's important that we start to become an expert in using these higher faculties. Then there is your imagination. Now, your imagination, as Neville Goddard calls it in his book, The Power of Awareness, he said, your imagination is God. Your imagination, any images you are getting on the screen of your mind about your future, that is actually exactly what you are meant to experience in your life. But we have such a weak will in just focusing on our imagination of what we would love, staying focused on that picture all day long. We're so weak with our will that we don't manifest it. Rather, we tend to live in more fear, doubt, and worry because we allow our five senses to hijack us. These are strong, but the higher faculties aren't. And so this is why I'm encouraging you to start to develop your higher faculties more. Rely on these more than your five senses. But I want to reassure you, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. Let me tell you that. So it's about strengthening our imagination. And here's a fun exercise I give my clients. I encourage them to spend 3 times a day, 20 minutes at least 3 times a day, imagining their future self and their lifestyle and their bank account. I encourage them to do that, because if you can do this in a relaxed state, you are getting those images into the subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is a servo mechanism. It loves a project, and it is one of compulsion, and it will get to work to bring you your good. Okay. Was there anything else? Reason. One more thing about reason. So reason is your ability to think. Now the reason is about thinking. And remember, you have a choice every single day to either reject an idea or accept it. And most people are accepting the idea from the five senses, often what we hear or we see. And then this idea, if it's not to our liking and we don't reject it, it often gets into the subconscious mind. And when it's in there, oh, you can feel it. You always know if you have become emotionally involved in the wrong idea. You feel it in your body. You can feel that you are in the wrong vibration. I say you're in the basement. Well, you're not really, but you can feel when you've accepted an idea. You feel it in your body, because remember, the subconscious mind is the feeling center. It's the emotional center. So you can feel it in your body, and that's why you don't want to move. And I encourage my clients, if you feel lousy and you're in a low vibration, move your body. Get moving. Make sure you get moving. So these are your higher faculties, okay? And I feel that it is so important that you start to learn how to use them more on a daily basis than relying on your five senses. So to develop, for example, your will, here is a beautiful exercise to take away with you to finish off this recording today. I highly recommend that you put a dot on a wall, or you light a candle, and you sit there and concentrate on the flicker or on the dot on a wall for at least a minimum of 5 minutes. Now I know, and I was initially the same, I couldn't even hold my attention. For not even 5 minutes. I would only do it for 30 seconds. But over time, my will has been developed to have this ability to concentrate for longer. And if you can develop your will with this simple exercise, you too will be able to then concentrate for long periods of time on what you would love. This is how you develop my will. I know that my mentor, Bob Proctor, he had an incredible will. And I remember when one of my colleagues who was working for him as a video man inside his studio, he discovered Bob's will one Monday morning when he went to work on Monday morning, and he worked in the studio Monday to Friday. And Bob, of course, the studio was attached to his house, so Bob could visit his studio at any time. And Monday morning he went in, and there was a loud, massive sound going on in the actual studio. And he's like, Bob, when did this start? This noise, it's piercing. And Bob just looked up and said, Friday. And then my mentor, Scott, said, well, have you been in here since Friday? He went, yes, and got back to his work. And it just showcased that Bob's will was so strong that he didn't even let that piercing sound get to him. He had developed his will so much. Actually, I think he enjoyed being in that studio with that piercing sound, because he had the ability to develop his will even further. He could actually see the gap, the weakness in his will from what it was, and spend time in that piercing environment for the 3 days before Scott came in and shifted the sound, changed it, got rid of it. But Bob was able to develop his will even more, and so can you. And when you develop, like I said, the will, the imagination, you learn how to use your intuition, heighten it even more. You use your reason and perception more. You too. This is how you manifest so quickly. So tomorrow I'm going to come on and I'll give you other examples to do with the various higher faculties to support you now to fall in love with using your higher faculties more than relying on your 5 senses. See you soon.